I'm going to read those quotes that I had found years ago. I found these even before my, revelation and understanding began to be given to me. And these were some of the first words that I had heard another speak that, confirmed things that I had, seen along the way. And, and I can't remember who was this one man, man of renown, but I watched his story, and so much, he got into the Bible, and and many things he spoke. Oh, who was that? I'll think of it later, but I don't think I have any of his quotes here. But that's so long ago, I can't remember what, but I got so much confirmation and knowing. I think some thought he was kind of crazy too, and I've been called crazy myself, but to know that those minds, that there was other minds out there that had heard, had witnessed the things that I myself had. And, some of the first confirmations I had was from great men and forefathers who had seen the same things. And I remember my mind being blown when I come across, a quote here or there. But through the years, I've posted these up on I forgot all about them though. Just all over my little computer desk and stuff at work for everyone else. Because, no one wanted to hear things. So I just post up little, notes just so they'd have to read them, and ponder them. But I'm just going to read these. And I don't understand. I've looked, like I said, I look for the kingdom. I sought out guidance from the Father to show me His ways and His word. And you become established. And don't try to figure out what you don't understand. As you more and more get built up in the truth, these things, understanding comes. Like, there's much understanding that comes to me in a day that it's in me, but it's not, and it will be brung out at the right time, So I'm just going to go ahead and read these right now. This is Thomas Jefferson. This irritable tribe of priests have subverted the pure morality of primitive Christianity to serve their own selfish interest. The Jesuits have perverted Christianity into an engine for enslaving mankind, a mere contrivance to fetch wealth and power to themselves. And I said in my last video, contrivance, my brain was going, a contrivance. They're saying, I should have looked up that word. I know what it means and how it fits, but it just, a mere contrivance, a way. It's they're planning, a mere planning to fetch wealth and power, a scheme, which I'd like to point out. There's a word in the Bible, which, when I tell you, when you see the Greek meaning, that's contrivance, which means the same thing as this. Like it's scandal. Contrivance, a scheming, right? And so they're scheming to enslave mankind, a mere scheming to fetch wealth and power for themselves. What is the word they translate it as? It's where you get the word scandal, and it's where we get our English word scandal. Scandalizio, something like that is the Greek word. And I should probably, maybe I can look it up. This just takes so long. Let's give it a second here. Come on. That's, what do they translate it as? Hold on a second. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's who make one of these little ones. Who offend one of these little ones. I'm pretty sure scandalizio. If that's not you, I mean, when you see these words, the meanings, and behind that, it gives you so much that you cannot get in the translation. That you would have never got that understanding from the plain translation had you not seen. When you see these words, the root, because he's the root and offspring, not everything in the middle. He's that pure root. And that offspring that comes up from the root, not the tares in the middle. Yeah. It's deep. It's, our Father is awesome in His planning, what He has done. He has given us everything that we need. We will know what the enemy is doing, but they will not know, what the Father is doing. But let me look at this. By the way, how people read that verse I was just speaking, they totally miss the whole point of what he's talking about. And there's what he's speaking of, how you see that he's speaking of, better that they were a millstone cast about their neck and cast into the sea. That's not even what it says. It's talking about putting a millstone, putting weights, burdens on them, using them as slaves. It's all in the translation. And see, that's things that I see from studying the Greek. That even some brethren out there who are true, but they're going by that letter, not understanding. They haven't looked deep enough into it to see certain things they have erred in their speaking. But it's not out of deception they're doing it. They just did not see that there was a meaning that did not come through, and they're still teaching it as that letter. But what that's speaking of, he's speaking about those who use. I think I don't know if it's the word, but they're using people. The weight, that's cat. They're putting stones around man's necks, enslaving them. And that word, I'm pretty sure that's where the scandalizio. I will go into that. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Come on. I hate this computer. No, I don't know why I haven't got a new one, but, not new. I don't like new things. I like used things. New to me things. My daughter just had her dad buy a $10,000 car for a 17-year-old girl. She knows I'm upset over it. $2,000, cool. $3,000 maybe, but no $10,000 car. It's just crazy. I don't think I've ever had a $10,000 car. Let me see. Let's check if that is what it speaks of there. Millstone about her neck. Let's see. Okay, it's coming up slowly here. I got the page up. Now I got to be able to click on lexicon. And oh, okay. Maybe I do need to invest in. I think I have a desktop downstairs that I might need to put together. Come on! Oh my goodness. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages open. That's how it gets. Every time I start a study, then it's and yeah. Okay, here it comes. Wait a minute. Maybe I should have paused that. Sorry. Keep thinking it's going to be here any minute. I got it up. So what it says in Greek, and I'll just read it down. And I'm not getting into this right now, just showing you the scandalizio. That is the word entrap, to trip up, ensnare, to entice, apostasy, offend, but to entrap, trip up. And it says, moreover, who would entrap, scandalizio, one of small these small, that believe unto me, next word, to bear together, symphero, that believe unto me, to bear together, symphero, gathering or collecting them, in order that to hang a mill, a grinder, millstone, mulus, to hang a millstone belonging to ass, or large millstone, unto the throat of them, and plunge down, submerge, and drown in the deep the sea, in the depth the sea. That's just part of something people don't understand in that. But as I'm really looking, because it don't say it would be better for them. It never says that. They translate it as what they want it to say. But all it says is, it says, who would take one of these that believe in me or unto me, to bear together, or bear together, collecting them, in order to hang a grinder or an ass's millstone unto the throat of them, who would scandalize them, who would ensnare them, entrap them, in order to bind a millstone belonging to an ass, making a worker slave of them, and cast them into the sea. And there's more to that. But what's there, the thing it would be better part, that's not even there. There's much that people think is in his word that is not so. But that, all I was looking at there is scandalizo, scandalize, ensnare them. And so let's see. They gather them, ensnare them, and they cast the millstone belonging to an ass, making slaves of them. That is what he is speaking of there. But you only get to stumble. Whoever causes one of these little ones to stumble, that's not what scandalizio is. It is to ensnare and to entrap. And you got to look more and more to the root. And that word, entrap and snare, is all the way through his teaching. That you won't see what he's teaching unless you go to the root. He is the root and the offspring, not everything in between. But, and who he's talking about there is the same. It was, and when he warned you of the scribes, Pharisees, and the scribes and Pharisees, that's who he was warning of, those who are now controlling the world. The same ones who have made you believe and made your mind Antichrist and changed the word to, but we're not getting into all that. The irritable tribe of priests, the ones who had caused the little ones to be entrapped, those who believed, they entrapped, and then they indoctrinated them, made them slaves, because they You're made a slave when you do not know the truth. The truth will set you free. It is by lies that you have been bound. It is, and your mind has been made antichrist. Because who have you been listening to? The very ones that he was warning you about. Which Thomas Jefferson says, this irritable tribe of priests have subverted the pure morality of primitive Christianity to serve their own selfish interests. The Jesuits have perverted Christianity into an engine for enslaving mankind and scandalizio, gathering them together, enslaving mankind, a mere contrivance, a mere scandal, a mere scheming to fetch wealth and power for themselves. And they see it falling today. They see us speaking truth, and they know when the truth is spoken, their kingdom's going to fall. So, let's go on. Oh, I like this one. This is really good because the word, see that, like I've said, it's who you hear, what you receive, and the fruit out of your lips that shows who is your father. And this one was, and I don't even know which forefather authored this. I did not write the author. I guess I ran out of room. Showing that through that letter, that is not the word of God, that is the written account of man, but the spirit that inspired it, those who has been planted by the letter of man or by the spirit that inspired it, the root. And see, but the Father had known what would happen, and he's always known what he would do. But someone else knew what the Father was doing. Through that very book, we are being separated today, those who hear and those who do not hear. God, by his providence, permitteth him, Antichrist, to be, and by the doctrine of the gospel discovereth his impostures to all those who have no mind to be deceived. By the doctrine of the gospel he discovereth his impostors to those who have no mind to be deceived. Those who hear beyond the letter and beyond the carnal understanding of man. Their minds could not be deceived by man. If it were possible to deceive the very elect, it is only the elect who will hear and will not be deceived by the carnal indoctrination and false understanding of man. And our forefather here, he knew what God was doing. Okay, and here's another one I kind of like. I had many more posted, but I took them down before. This is Albert Einstein. Anyone who becomes, which is not, really, but it goes along. So. Anyone who becomes seriously involved in the pursuit of science becomes convinced that there is a spirit manifest in the law of the universe, a spirit vastly superior to that of man. Saying every scientist, even going in, thinking there is none, thinking the Big Bang and evolution, once they really pursue it, and with an honest, true heart, looking for some truth, even in the universe, the true heart will find, yeah, there's one vastly superior than us. So, I found some others. Did I read those? I don't think I did. Let me see if I want to. So I hope if some of you, if you have, let me know if you went to look at the Greek if anyone's, benefited from anything I've said, that would be lovely, but, let me know if you went to look at the Greek. And if you haven't, you might consider that. There's many things that you don't understand because it's how it's translated. It's, what was that? That alone, right there. Stumble. Would you have ever thought stumble was translated from ensnare or entrap? In the same word where we get scandalize. Conspiracy. Schemes. There's so much in there that you have not heard because you hear the word of man. I'm not sure who that one was, but I'm going to go ahead and just finish this out. Sorry it's so long, but I'm going to read these couple quotes. It's kind of like, great minds think alike. If I was worldly, I would, but I know nothing I have is of myself. My understanding did not come of myself. I looked and looked and looked and could not find. It wasn't till it was given to me when I stopped looking and I just started believing and letting, the Father's Word guide me. So I'm just going to go ahead but I was saying that I would be kind of puffed up to have minds that, these great men have shared in the same thinking as myself. But it's not, it was that, what was it, he called it, vastly superior. It's that mind that is vastly superior to ours that has allowed us to see these things and to come to know these things. So I'm just going to read the rest of these. John Adams, which I don't know a lot about all these. I'm just, conferring on these, these quotes. The jaws of power are always open to devour, and her arms is always stretched out, if possible, to destroy the freedom of thinking, speaking, and writing. Stretched out, if possible, to destroy the freedom of thinking, speaking, and writing. Why man has been in their blindness. They have taken the power. They have set themselves up. They have now to... You don't think out there. The world's not thinking for themselves. They think for them. Everything man believes and in their mind, that man has not, to thy, what was another one said, to thine own self be true, then thou shalt not be false to another. Man who aren't true, when they hear what man has preached at them and taught them, but they don't defend, even though it's contrary to them and they don't believe it, but they just take it. They assume that these people, and it's just a perversion. If man had, I don't know, I'm kind of getting off there a little bit, but, I'll say a little bit, but I do want to just hurry up. I got to hurry up and get to work, but, now they're going to try to take these freedoms away, and I'm not going to go into that. I don't worry about what they think they're going to do, but, they've set themselves, the wicked kingdom is controlling. They've taken control because man has been blind. Man are indeed slaves in every way. And, where's that getting ready to go? Even in, now I'm seeing this too in part. Like I stopped listening to music a long time ago, and But occasionally, I'll hear someone have some old country on or some music that, and you just think, oh, I remember I love that, And every now and then I'll listen to music. I'll turn off my videos at work and I'll turn on country or even some southern rock or sometimes Christian music. There's a lot of that I like. But I've been listening to some of the music I grew up in, with, and there was a time when music came from the hearts of man, from the hearts and minds of man. That's, and when I listen back, and sometimes you can hear, that heart that had Christ in it speaking through the lyrics, through poetry, through music. When it was hearts and of man writing it, what they're putting out today is what they want put into people. It's controlling a whole, indoctrinating by music and media and, what they want the people to hear and where they want the people's minds to be at. That's what they're doing. I see all of this, but I don't look to all these things. I'm just sharing this right now because of the quotes, just, striking up some thoughts. But, and I can't say in religion tell you music's wrong. If it comes from the heart of man, if there's something true that comes from the heart of man and another man's, singings of something that is right, there is no wrong in that. And, I might make a video of some, certain, or post a song or two. It's what they put out now that is totally contrary to Christ in the heart of man. But, I'm getting a little off, so let me just finish here. Anything that draws your heart closer to Christ and closer to God, that is a good thing. Anything that came from the heart of it, it's not what goes in, it's what comes out. See, right now, you got what they're wanting going in. They're creating what going in. It don't come from the heart. Back when we grew up, that music that was coming out, much of it, it came from the heart of man. And it was good. There was much goodness from the heart of man. I come from a different time. I knew love. I had that I was in that last era growing up where I knew love. Before this all just before this, it was going on, but there was still some hearts that was pure that hadn't been corrupted yet. And then they poured out their corruption. But those hearts that remember, they're being reminded today. And they're going to stand for what's right. Because the heart that is true is led by God. By Christ. Man will ultimately be governed by God or by tyrants. Benjamin Franklin. The man who reads nothing at all is better educated than the man who reads only newspapers. Only newspaper. Thomas Jefferson. Which is what we're saying. Their indoctrination. And I want to point out, Son of John, I never knew that. I don't think I've ever heard it before. But he had pointed out that news, what is it called when they take the first letter and make a word? But that news, N-E-W-S, north, east, west, south. Covering the whole globe of that news, that information that they want you to hear. Gotta be indoctrinated. Gotta all be seeing the same thing. So you don't know what's going on. But I thought that was interesting. North, east, west, south. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. Thomas Jefferson to Charles Clancy. I don't know him. I'm just going to read through these real fast. And, just ponder. You hear that this has been going on, And throughout, even, America, we had our forefathers, See, and I don't understand. I know that they was played too. That, but I think that there might be more writings to actually not learn from them, but to hear from them. Those who saw firsthand what was happening with the elite taking over and, setting their seeds, setting their, setting up their order, their power. All right, but anyway, I'm just going to finish reading these. And I like this one. America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter or lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. That was Abraham Lincoln. James Madison. The means of defense against foreign danger historically have become the instruments of tyranny at home. That same defense that we use, means that we use to defend the foreign, is the same means that we use, that the tyrants use at home to enslave. To rule. It is the duty of the patriot to protect his country from his government. Thomas Paine. It is the duty for all to stand for what's right when you know what's right. Those people who will not be governed by God will be ruled by tyrants at home. William Penn. And I had wrote one. A people who are still looking for deception to come are blind, not knowing that they themselves have already been deceived. If you haven't realized that your own mind has been contrary to Christ's teaching, that you have followed after man, you have followed after wolves, wearing sheep's clothing, speaking lies in his name, contradicting his word as they teach. So we're going to go further into that. Antichrist is everything that is against Christ. That's what it means. It is Antichrist, against Christ, withstands Christ. That's why Peter was told, get behind me. Get behind me, Satan. Satan is the opposer, the accuser. He that is anti-Christ, opposing Christ. And he was told, get out of my way and get behind me. Follow me. Know what was written in the scriptures. Know why it was all written. It was there to instruct you. But you've taken your instruction from man, who have led you and taught you falsely. Each must come to know these things, one-on-one. Man cannot teach you. You can hear the word. And, the word that will, those who allow the word will work in you. That word is the Spirit of prophecy, the testimony of Jesus Christ. It is the word spoken. And when it is heard, it comes in. And that word, that Spirit, that gives the understanding. And you see whereas you did not see before. And don't ever think and see, most people, when they've seen a little here or there, they think they got the rest. They haven't realized you had so much more that you are full of that does not belong to God. So anyone out there having, still doubts or still unsure, let the Spirit finish the work. It is a work of perfection. It is perfecting His word in you. You don't learn the Father's ways and kingdom by seeking out the works and ways of the kingdom of Satan. When you do this, you will not recognize who is your enemy, and you are in danger of believing his lies, just as it has been for long. That's where people go wrong. They've sought out this and they think they know the Antichrist, or they know the Bible is the mark of the beast, or this and that. And they go on, that's what they're looking at. So that's what you're eating up. You're eating up all this darkness, professing light out of your mouth. You don't eat the things of darkness, and then that becomes light in you. But that's what happens. They take darkness, then they think they understand this darkness they've consumed, and then they put it out as if it's light. I'll go into that further. I wrote this little note there. We are not worthy, but accounted as so. That's for those who think that they can make themselves worthy, and they're the ones that's out there judging others, saying, God talks to me, this is what I've learned, and this is how I am, so be this way. And if you don't be this way that I'm telling you, then, you're going to burn in hell, or blah, blah, blah. That's what they do. That's all it is. Talk. Because we are not worthy. And we who know understand that. But we are accounted as so. There's none that is worthy. Therefore, if you're not worthy, don't go judging another, because you don't have no place to judge. And I will go much into that and show the scriptures that backs what I say. If I seem defensive of the word, or bold, you have to be, for those who will contend. I put it in my voice, don't even contend his word. Okay, it has all been sewn together. That spirit that inspired the word. And then, just by one word alone, you see that the true meaning don't come through. But what's happening today is we're all being, separated from his word, by his word. Those who hear the word of spirit, those who hear the letter of man, those who are sitting there spitting out, they don't understand how deep, where it says, who have not known, who have not known the depths of Satan as they speak. The depths of this deception, the depths of the adversary, the depths of the corruption. You have not known. You look at that shallow word and your comprehension, and you don't. I just got to throw it off from where I was. Well, I'm not going to go into anything right now anyway. Just, I know that was just a video with this and that, but just, I'm going to try to start doing, it is just so hard for me to just stay on one thing, but I know, I'm just recently ready to begin, ready to share, but, and I think a lot of my videos so far has been, to help the faith, as I said, and to ready the minds of those who watch, who might be watching. I've heard some things from some who have been watching me, and, I've heard some of them say they've been strengthened, and that's what I'm here to do. That's what I aim to do. Like I said, it took a long time for my mind to be, I had all the same carnal, I had it in me. And now I share my journey so that I can help others get through what I've already been through. And I've always known this is what I was supposed to do. So I hope something, I hope this wasn't too long, which I know it is, and I am so sorry. And if I knew how to at least divide these up, but I don't know much about editor and stuff, so I hope you make it through the video. I hope, I've said something. I'm going to go for now. I love you. Father bless you.